Hello, and welcome to the first edition of Life Support, a part of the Rich Roux experience. My name is Renee Ruffin. You're probably asking yourself, what is Rich Roux? Good question. Rich Roux is a transformative philosophy and methodology that encourages the power of meditation, self-reflection, and inspiration, all as tools for mental, spiritual, and physical reconditioning. Rich Roux is a value-based philosophy that promotes a lifestyle that you can build upon for a powerful personal brand and a lasting legacy. About 14 years ago, God gave me the vision for Rich Roux when He impressed upon me that my life had a much broader purpose, kind of like an epiphany of sorts. And it went a little something like this. It was a few years ago, not much more. I sat gazing through a window that appeared to turn into a door. At first I thought, wow, this is going to be a really neat dream. But I quickly realized that it wasn't as it seemed. You see, I hadn't actually fallen asleep at all, but my spirit had, and this was about to be my wake-up call. I got up and I began to walk through the door. I turned to look back, but I didn't see anything familiar anymore. I heard a voice begin to speak. There's nothing to go back to. What's behind you is what kept you weak. I turned to continue my journey ahead. I looked before me, and in a mirror, I saw me. I saw the parts that were transparent, and I saw all the parts that no one else could see. God began to show me that after all of those years, I'd still never lived. And not only that, I hadn't given a fourth of what He wanted me to give. He began to show me the secrets and the pains that I tucked away because I knew if I hid them, I could live to face another day. But now, the time had come to face the music and dance the dance. I clearly heard Him say, Renee, I'm giving you another chance. A chance to live as I see fit for your life to be. You've tied up your blessings because you wouldn't let me be me. There are some things that I've asked you to embrace, but you can't because of what it requires you to erase. You defined what success for you would be, and you did it without ever consulting me. What I have for you, your mind cannot conceive. It can only be birthed through my spirit as it already is in eternity. I stopped and I asked, Lord, what do I do? He laughed and gently responded, there you go again. This has absolutely nothing to do with you. He said, Renee, keep walking down the hallway of the door you just went through. Don't worry whether to turn left or right. My spirit will guide you. You'll know when you've reached the milestones I've set for your life, because the world will be transformed through you as you display my light. And oh, by the way, for obedience, there is a great reward. That success you've been getting gray hairs about, it's really not that hard. I then asked, Lord, have I failed you? He said, no, you didn't fail me. You just needed an epiphany of the way I see you and the way you need to see me. And I tell you, that epiphany brought me to the realization that my life had unintentionally been self-centered. For example, every year I set goals for myself, as we all do, especially at the beginning of a year. We plan to further our education, or we plan to lose weight, or we plan to focus on being promoted on our jobs, or improving our credit, or improving our finances, or improving the quality of our relationships. But whatever it is, we focus on ourselves. It's all about us, what makes me better. And what this epiphany brought the revelation of to my life was that our purpose really is not only how we can make ourselves better, but how we make others better around us. And so then my whole life purpose and my focus began to shift, and it began to change, because I realized that the more I give myself away, the bigger I become. More importantly, the stage of success cannot be shared with selfishness. And that is something that we all have to come to the realization of. And again, it wasn't intentional. I've never been a person that didn't care about other people. But I never broadened my mind or my thoughts to realize that when we come into this world, we come with purpose. You know, the Bible says in Jeremiah 29 that I have a plan and a purpose for your life. A lot of times we go through life and we create our own plans, and we never consult the person that gave us life in the first place, because he has a plan. And our plans have to line up with his if we want to achieve success. And so in 2019, my sole plan is simply this: purpose. Nothing more and nothing less. As a result of pursuing my purpose, or as a part of it, I'm going to be coming to you regularly with my life support podcast. See, I'm not coming to you because I have it all together or I'm perfect. Actually, it's quite the contrary. I'm coming to you because I don't. But as I've gone through experiences in my life, a lot of times I went through those experiences alone. Didn't know what to do. Trying to figure it out. In dark places. Places of depression, of confusion, of loss, of void. Not knowing what to do next. And if I had had just a little bit of support, which I do. I have family and friends that love me. But it's difficult sometimes for people to be transparent about some of the deepest pains that they've experienced, whether that be because of embarrassment, fear of judgment, not really knowing how other people are going to receive what you share with them. They don't necessarily come to you. But I'm at a point now that I'm beyond that obstacle. And I realize that we all go through things in life. And if we have just a little bit of support through that process, it would help us to push past the pain. It would help us to become better. And you have to become comfortable with being transparent. So again, my sole plan in 2019 is purpose. I've also learned that it's okay not to be perfect. In fact, there's no such thing as perfection. And when you focus on being perfect, it causes you to be paralyzed. Give you an example what I mean by that. When God gave me the vision of Rich Roux, I tried to come up with this elaborate plan for how I would execute that vision. And every little thing had to be in place. I had an amazing launch. I began to have bookings all over the world. People contacted me for coaching sessions, and it was just amazing. But I really began to focus on perfecting it and it being perfect exactly this way. And the delivery has to be this way. I have to have the stage set. I need to have this type of music. And all of those things are great because it is important to do things in a spirit of excellence. But what I've learned through the years is that we are always being perfected. And when we stop to try to be perfect, we don't go anywhere because we're spending more of our time focusing really on what people think than what people experience. So for me, I care what people think, but then again I don't. I've come to a place that what people think is their business, not mine. But what is my business is purpose. And so in order to do that, I have to live a life of transparency. And when I do that, I'm able to influence and affect people in a way that is transformative. So here I am with life support. I believe that all human activity is based from the desire to increase. So we're going to learn how to do that. We're going to learn how to give to people more than we take through this podcast. We're going to learn how to create and not compete. We're going to learn how to ask ourselves, How can we find a way to package all of the gifts and talents and resources that we possess as individuals in a way that can help somebody else? We're going to focus on being better people that serve. We're going to learn how to press past our obstacles. We're going to learn how to accept ourselves just as we were created and to be comfortable and pleased with our unique value, which is our brand, the way people experience us. We're going to learn how to be refreshed, how to reset, and how to refuel. And more importantly, we're going to learn how to think positively about ourselves and others. Because here's the thing that I want to leave you with. You can't have a positive life without positive thoughts. With that being said, I look forward to sharing my experiences with you in the weeks ahead. The next podcast is going to be focused on pain and how to press past your pain. Until then, walk firm enough to leave a footprint and straight enough to pave a path. God bless.